150 likes. That is the amount of likes I want on today's video. So before anything, go down there and smash the video a like. As you can see by the title, today I'm going to be ranking National League managers, picking my top 10, going from 10 to 1. This is going to get really interesting. So before we get into it, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and drop a comment down below who you think is the best National League manager. Big shout out to our YouTube partner, Non-League Bible. Go and follow him on all social media. He's the best non-league fan account out there for edits, news, just everything up to date with non-league, so go and drop him a follow. 10th place, Devonshire. Now, this might be a bit controversial, but I've picked him purely because he first got Maidenhead United promoted in 2017, and since then, he's managed to keep them up in every season, working on a budget near to nothing. He's guided a fairly average team to places 12th, 19th, 22nd and 13th, and now currently 19th in the National League. He for sure gets the best out of his players, and the bigger teams, as we've seen this season and last season, tend to struggle when they come to York Road. And I think Devonshire is a top manager. Could he do it at a bigger club? I don't know. He seems to have got the right thing going at Maidenhead. He also guided them to promotion in 2017 from the National League South. So I think a lot more respect needs to be put on Devonshire's name. He's a top manager, and that's why he gets my 10th place. 9th place, Kevin Mart of Southend United. Now, this is his first proper managerial job. You know, he's previously been at Bristol Rovers as a caretaker manager in Southend under 23s. Things didn't go to plan when he first joined Southend in October. He only managed 2 wins out of his first 10 games. In January, he made some really crucial and some really big signings which have helped change their season around, the likes of Harry Cardwell, Callum Powell. You've got youngster Matt Dennis as well. He's hitting red-hot form. They've got a really good squad that they shouldn't fear anyone at the minute. Now, he's took a hopeless Southend United, who were in a bit of a relegation scrap at the start of the season, to now making a late top 10 surge. I think next season they'll definitely be looking to challenge for top 5. They've got a good squad as it is, and when they only improve on that in the summer, I can see Southend doing big things. 8th place, Ian Birchnall of Notts County. Now, I can't really rate Birchnall too highly, as he's only spent 1.5 seasons in non-league football. And not too many people are familiar with his background story before his life at the Magpies. Obviously, we know he had a massive task on his hands when he was the manager of Ostersund's, when Graham Potter left to Brighton, so he had massive boots to fill. Things didn't really go the way he wanted to, as he took them from Europa League challengers in the league to relegation. So it didn't really work out for Birchnall at Ostersund's. But his first season at Notts County went really, really well, as they managed to get 5th place as they lost in the playoffs to Chesterfield. So they had a really good first season under Birchnall. I still think he's got a lot to prove as a manager, but I can see him definitely being the man that steers Notts back into the right direction. Who knows, could he take him to the Football League or not? 7th place, Andy Woodman. Now, this is another manager who was unheard of when he first joined Bromley, but what an incredible job he has done, taking Bromley from an average mid-table National League side to now challenging in the playoffs. Now, we all know last season when they surprised everyone, you know, Woodman did a miracle with Bromley and got them that 7th place, where they unfortunately lost out in the playoffs to Hartlepool United, but that season they were incredibly good. We also saw recently as well, he did turn down the Gillingham job in League One. So does this show that he's in it for the long term for Bromley, and possibly could he get them to the Football League? Playoffs or not this season, they've consistently performed for a solid 2 seasons now, exceeding expectations massively, and this is why Andy Woodman deserves my 7th place. 6th place, Gary Johnson. Now, we all know this man is behind the famous story of Yeovil Town getting to the Championship. He also as well previously won the National League title with Cheltenham Town in the 15-16 season, where they passed 100 points, one of very few teams to ever do that. He's got bags of experience and definitely knows how to get out of this league, but purely what he's done in the past for Yeovil and for Cheltenham Town, I think he has to be placed very highly. If it was on the last 5 years, who knows? He probably might not even be top 10, because that doesn't include the Challinor winning season. You know, he did took Torquay to the playoff final, but he hasn't got them promoted yet. And he'll be obviously be looking to get Torquay back on track next season, because I can't see them getting playoffs this year. So Gary Johnson gets my 6th place. What we're all forgetting is this man is just 36 years of age. Most managers in their prime would accomplish what he has done already, and he's only just getting started. I really rate him as a manager as well. He does great analysis on the teams. You know, he gives a fair comment after every game, and he'll praise teams if they have played well. And the way how he gets Bournemouth to set out and play football, I really do rate. I can see him being a manager in the Football League soon, whether it be with Bournemouth or not. I think it's only a matter of time until a big club does come in for him. I think as well, with an extra bit of financial backing from the Bournemouth board, I could definitely see Bournemouth challenging for top 4. I don't think they'll get top 4 this season, but they're still in the running. You know, they've got a couple of games in hand, but I just can't see it happening. 4th place, Paul Cook of Chesterfield. Now, this is a Chesterfield club hero after he took them to League One. Obviously, we all know his famous voice changes and stuff. But recently, he has returned to the club after James Rowe's sacking. Seems to have got a good reception from the Chesterfield fans, and probably one of the best managers they could have got. The start hasn't been how he wanted it to, but then again, there's a huge possibility that they will get that 2nd place. You know, he's got vast experience in the Football League for the likes of Ipswich Town, Wigan Athletic, Chesterfield, obviously. He's a man that's won multiple league titles, promotions, so it wouldn't surprise me if Chesterfield did go on to get promoted this season under him. So yeah, Cook is a top manager and one that easily walks into the top 5 in this list. 3rd place, Pete Wilde of Halifax Town, another man that has revolutionised a club, consistent gaining top 10 finishes since his arrival in 2019. On paper, the squads he's had in those seasons haven't probably been top 15 material, but the way he gets them out to play football, he gets points on the board nearly every week. Chesterfield did recently come in for him when they did need new managers, so it clearly shows that he is doing a really good job at Halifax. Promotion definitely looks a big chance for them this year, and I could see Pete Wilde getting Manager of the Year if they do manage to get promotion, because like we said, their squad this season, you look at it, there's about 3 or 4 good players in there, but you know, they're all average players, but the way Pete Wilde gets them to play, he gets the best out of players, and they clearly deserve to be top 3. 2nd place, Phil Parkinson of Wrexham. There's no bias here, but he is a top manager that deserves the utmost respect. This man took Bolton Wanderers to the Championship from League 2 in the matter of 3 seasons and managed to keep them up in the Championship whilst competing against the likes of Aston Villa, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Leeds United, so he deserves respect for just doing that. And I do strongly believe he would be the Bolton manager to this day if they weren't in the financial issues. We all saw him on Sky Sports when he did the honest review on what was going on the club. I remember watching that, but I never thought he'd be the manager of Wrexham. He also as well provided some great memories at his time at Bradford City. Obviously, we all know when they did that FA Cup run, beating Chelsea 4-2, he was the manager at the time, so he did really well at Bradford as well. Now, although his tactics don't seem pretty on paper, he does get some teams playing some really decent football, as we've seen in the second half of the season for Wrexham. He manages to get the best out of the team. He's got the points on the board for us, and could he be taking us to promotion? Who knows? And like we said as well, he's very experienced and he knows how to get teams promoted, as he's shown before. Hopefully he can do the same at Wrexham. 1st place, Dave Challinor. I don't think there could be any arguments over this one. The Stockport County manager, you know, he was at Hartlepool last season. He got Hartlepool promoted via the playoffs and he was doing a really good job in League 2. He could have steered them towards the playoffs. That's how good he was doing. And then out of the blue, Stockport got rid of Simon Rusk and then Chandler came in. And ever since he's come in, wow. I think he's lost 1 game there so far. And if I'm being honest, I can't see them losing another game until the end of the season, bar maybe Wrexham. He's a really good up-and-coming manager, and I can see him being one of the best managers in the coming years. If he gets Stockport promoted, then there'll be a lot more you know, loads of people will be hearing of his name because he's such a good manager. And this might sound a bit salty, but I wouldn't have minded him joining Wrexham in the summer, but obviously that didn't happen. You know, he's doing really well at Stockport at the minute, and I can see Stockport getting promoted via winning first place. So Challinor gets my top spot in this list. So yes, guys, that does conclude the video. Top 10 National League managers. Have I made any massive mistakes? Obviously, I left out Paul Hurst, Daryl McMahon. Let me know your top 10 in the comment section down below. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you as well. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're 60 off. 60. That's it from 3,000 subscribers. So help us hit it. We've got a massive 2 months ahead. 7 home games in a row for Wrexham. So watch out for the vlogs. And I'll see you guys in the video. Take care.